Peah Perek Daled, Mishnah Vav. Okay, so until now, we've learned about the obligation of giving Peah, and we're going to go back to our original pasuk. We've seen this a number of times. Uvekutzechem et ketziras artzechem lo tekale pe'at sarcha liktzor, v'leker ketzircha lo telaket. Okay, uvekutzechem, when you cut. So the Gemara says the Chazal learned out uvekutzechem, when you cut, prat that excludes the ketzirat nachrim. So if a non-Jew cuts the field, then he is not obligated in Peah, and the produce is not obligated in Peah. Okay, V'kutzechem applies twice. The same thing is true. Let me see if I can find it. Psukim. Same thing is true about shichacha leket and Peah. We saw in that pasuk. Shichacha. Let me just move me. Kiti ksor kitzircha b'sadeh v'shachachta omer b'sadeh. When you cut, you're harvesting in the field, and you forget an omer. You forget a sheaf in the field. Lo tashuv lekachto. Okay, again, kitzircha, yours, and not shel nachrim. So this is a mitzvah that is incumbent upon Jews, not upon non-Jews. They're not required to give leket, shikhat, and peah. What happens though if a person harvested the field when he was not a Jew and then he converted? Is he obligated to take off these or to give these matnot aniyim, or is he not? Says the Mishnah. Nachrisha katzaret sadehu v'achar kach nitgayer. A non-Jew who harvested his field, he cut down his field, and then he converted. Patur min leket umina shikha umina peah. He's exempt from leket, shikha, and peah. He's exempt from everything. Why? Because the point is that the shak katzira, from the time that katzar, he was a non-Jew, and the obligation of katzira is what required him to give leket and peah. We're going to see shikha in a second. Rabbi Yehuda mechayev b'shikha. Rabbi Yehuda says that this person, the non-Jew who converted, is obligated in shikha. She'ena shikha el b'shat ha'imur. Shikha only takes place at the time of imur. Imur is the picking up. When we see in the Jastro, we look up imur, heaping up, carrying sheaves home. Okay, and he gives. I think we have our. The law concerning the forgotten sheaf, imur, the picking up of the sheaves. So the Mishnah says that shikha is b'shat ha'imur, from the time that you picked it up. So therefore, Rabbi Yehuda says at the time that he picked up the sheaves, remember he cut down the field, then he went to the Beit Din, did his gear, and then he came back, and he forgot something. So while he was picking up his harvesting, that's when shikha applies. Now the Chachamim agree that imur is mishat katsira. Let's just go to our chart. Okay, we have a chart. So we see Tanakama says about shikha. Tanakama says that he's patur. Why? I mean, the Rebbe says he's chayav because chiyuv shikha is mishat imur. So the real question, as we always have to ask ourselves, is which is more obvious, which is more interesting. So it seems in this case, the one that's more obvious is Rabbi Yehuda. Of course, you should be chayav. If shikha is mishat imur, if shikha is obligated from the time that he is picking up the harvest in the field, why does the Tanakama say patur? So the Kahati explains that the reason the Tanakama says patur is because kol she'enu chayav b'leket u'peah enu chayav b'shikha. There's a hekesh, there's an association between different types of leavings, and you can have shikha b'kama. We're going to see this in a few Mishnayot. So since you can have shikha b'kama, you can have shikha of something that's still attached to the ground. Therefore, the rules of shikha apply only when leket and peah apply as well. That's the din of the Tanakama. And since those only apply to a Jew and not to a non-Jew, therefore shikha is included as well. There's obviously much more to say about the Tanakama. Rabbi Yehuda seems more sensible. The Tanakama learned it from a drasha and compare the three halachot to each other. Nonetheless, all non-Jews should be aware, if they want to be chayav in this mitzvah, they probably should convert before they start cutting their fields. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to contact me as always. Let's see if I can find it. rspolter@gmail.com. I want to dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman, and have a great day.